skin is opened and blood appears. A single drop of blood on the African savanna is enough to sustain another life. Beneath the thick skin of a white rhinoceros, hundreds of parasites are already feeding. Most are ticks, patient, silent, and almost invisible to the giant they inhabit. Each tick takes only a small amount of vitality, but together they drain the strength of the animal. The rhino's skin can be several centimeters thick, yet parasites find the softest spots. They cluster around the eyes, inside the ears, and deep within the heavy skin folds. The rhino's massive body offers little protection against these tiny, persistent invaders. Then, a red-billed oxpecker lands softly on the rhino's horn, ready to begin its work. Small beside a giant, yet perfectly at home, the bird starts searching for its next meal. Its slender bill moves with astonishing accuracy, plucking ticks from the rhino's thick hide. One tick disappears, then another. Within minutes, dozens of parasites are gone. For the bird, this is a rich source of protein. For the rhino, irritation fades. For generations, this relationship seemed easy to understand, a perfect partnership of mutual benefit. The bird gained food, and the rhino lost parasites. It was nature's classic example of mutualism. But as morning spreads across the savanna, a more complicated truth begins to emerge. Modern cameras have revealed behavior that few had ever noticed in this ancient bond. The bird ignores a large tick and instead walks toward a small, healing wound. With a gentle peck, the thin layer of new skin is opened, and blood appears. The oxpecker is no longer just eating parasites, it is drinking fresh, warm blood. This observation changed decades of scientific thinking about whether the bird is truly helping. Is the bird a friend or a parasite itself, exploiting an opportunity for an easy meal? The answer is complicated, as the rhino is an entire ecosystem carried on 4 legs. Horseflies gather around the eyes, while blowflies search for open wounds to lay their eggs. The oxpecker feeds on many of them, its diet changing throughout the long, hot day. It eats parasites, flies, and larvae, even dried skin around the rhino's older wounds. Despite the blood drinking, the bird offers something incredibly valuable to the rhino in return. A white rhinoceros has surprisingly poor eyesight, making it vulnerable to threats from a distance. Objects become blurry beyond a short range, so the rhino depends on other senses. It relies on its hearing, its powerful sense of smell, and its tiny feathered lookout. From the tip of the horn, the oxpecker watches constantly for any sign of danger. It monitors every movement, every shadow, and every unfamiliar sound carried by the wind. Suddenly, the bird freezes. Its sharp eyes have spotted a predator circling high above. A martial eagle, the savanna's most formidable aerial hunter, is looking for a small target. ASMR sounds. Eagles screech. The eagle ignores the 2-ton rhino, focusing its attention on the bird standing on the horn. Without warning, the eagle folds its wings and dives like a living, feathered spear. The oxpecker reacts instantly, letting out a sharp alarm call that echoes across the grass. The rhino immediately stops feeding, its large ears turning to locate the source of the sound. The bird launches into the air, performing a series of sharp turns to evade the eagle. The eagle's talons slash through empty air as the oxpecker escapes into a thorny bush. The encounter ends without success, and the rhino stands alert, warned of the potential threat nearby. Minutes later, the bird quietly returns to the same rhino, and work begins again. Dark clouds gather overhead as the wind carries the fresh, metallic smell of approaching rain. Heavy drops strike the rhino's back, and water flows across its ancient, cracked horn. The oxpecker crouches low against the storm, its soaked feathers pressed closely against its form. Still, it refuses to leave, because the parasites and the opportunities remain on the rhino. Eventually, the storm drifts away, and sunlight returns to the vast, golden plains. Nature rarely deals in simple answers. It deals in the brutal reality of survival. The cycle begins all over again, a complex dance between the giant and the bird.